Hello everybody, my name is Player Negative, and today, I've got nothing. Okay, that's not entirely true, but at the moment I am dealing with a bit of artist block on what to actually make. So, just to get some stuff out of my head, I'm going to show you a few things I have in mind in terms of rapid succession. So without further ado, let's get into the first one. Now, I'm pretty sure I don't have to explain much about this topic. Everyone's sat around a campfire or been down your brother's basement and played some Smash Brothers, Street Fighter, or Mortal Kombat together. The thing about fighting games for me is that, honestly, I'm stuck between trying to learn the meta and the deeper understanding of the game and trying to actually get good and enjoy the game. Now, it all comes down to what characters I actually main. In Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I main the Mii fighters. In Smash Bros. Remix, I play as Goemon mainly. And in games like Super Smash Flash 2, I play as Naruto. I know some random person off the back in the list I just made is gonna go, actually those characters aren't good because they're on the bottom tier and you should pick something better with more skill. Meanwhile, you'll have people like my brother who can 3-stock me just by playing as Ganondorf. I'm still trying to get better at the game even though I don't fully understand it, but I do love to have fun with it and just appreciate the time Sakurai spent. Without further ado, let's move on to the next topic. It's no secret that I've casually butt heads or talked with other YouTubers before, some who I consider close friends and others I consider acquaintances, and some who won't stop giving racist remarks. So for this section, I'm just going to go into each YouTuber I know and or have met in rapid succession on a tier list. The highest are people I consider to be close friends and colleagues, and the lowest are people I've casually met like once or twice, or just interacted with. So let's get into it. Starting off, we have Zipimations, a very close friend of mine and the first YouTuber I ever knew personally. He was actually one of the closest YouTubers I knew. I still know him pretty well to this day, but I haven't met him in person in a while. He's a really nice guy and a really good animator. In fact, I'm actually the respective voice actor for one of his videos for the titular character, Mr. Life. And for some reason you don't believe me, check the end of the video. I am credited as his voice actor. He also sent me the assets to build the puppet for animation. And if you still don't believe me, listen to this.
Oh, here we go. Zipimations. Alright, this kid's been happy for too long. Alright, that should be it.
The opposite is true for the next YouTuber, Anagastini. Essentially, she is my #1 hater for criticizing Disney. Now, I have no direct hate towards her specifically. She's just really mad that I tend to criticize movies or shows that are objectively bad. Like, I don't need to explain why Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate on Peacock was horrible. I think a good majority of us all know that this show was hot garbage. I don't think I need to explain that to you. But the fact is, because Disney's been in a bad place, and the same thing for DreamWorks, she can't admit that. And because she's such a diehard fan, she will do stuff like claim that I'm just a hater, when I will give just the most basic, bare minimum amount of criticism. And she's actually also a really talented artist too. She made a lot of this interesting artwork of like different types of ideas for a Night Fury, and I honestly like some of this work. It's just every single time she tries to criticize it, I try to criticize it or give the simplest amount of feedback, she can either get really mad at me or just dismiss me entirely, which isn't a bad thing, but it does get annoying after a while. And her videos have a very similar quality to my own, so she's basically on the same level as me. Though, she has a tendency a bit more enthusiastic than me. She also, whenever I try to criticize her, she made this video. And it's kind of ridiculous.
Okay, Player Bob, Negative Pants. The secret to actually liking Megamind 2 is to actually dig deep into your inner child. Dig deeper and deeper until you find that sweet buck-toothed little kid hidden deep under your tough exterior. Unless you want to end up like Amnesia Critic of Channel Awful.
Overall, no hatred towards you. I'm just criticizing and showing the obvious issues that are there. But if you don't want to hear me, you don't want to hear me. I can't change your opinion, but I can show you a different perspective. Next up is Bad Pikachu. He's honestly really funny, and again, he is on the same level of video quality as me. His channel is very similar to mine, where he has very minimal editing skills, but tries to make it work. Most of his videos evolve around either stuff from the 2000s, his own personal ideas, or him criticizing Italian brain rot and talking about how it's pretty much dumb. Also, similar to me in earlier days of the channel, he used to wear a mask to cover up his entire face before getting a PNG.
Sad news. Terrible. GTA 6 will not be compatible with the DS.
Yeah, reminds me a lot of myself, and I think he's honestly just a really cool guy. Like, though I do think he shouldn't be playing Roblox, especially with Jeff Keighley. His whole Next up is Tails9303. Now, while he has changed his YouTuber name, he is still one of my closest friends on YouTube and a good guy. He was actually one of the first. I first found out about him when I found out he made a bunch of remix Sonic music. And just from down there, when I started talking to him, we just became very close friends on YouTube. I even commissioned a few of his artwork, which is what you just saw with the pixelated sprite back there. I honestly love and appreciate the work he's done, and as a fellow man of Christ, I completely respect him. And speaking of respect, let's look at something that took one look at gaming as a medium and as a whole and decided not to respect your intelligence. But before we do, you made it this far for the video, so why not consider subscribing, leaving a comment, or turning on all notifications? Or if you don't, I shoot down Slippy Toad. The choice is truly yours. With that out of the way, let's get into it. Okay, I know this is going to sound controversial. Oh, who am I kidding? Everyone's beat this horse to death. I might as well just rip the band-aid off. This is the worst video game made since E.T. for the Atari 2600. For the two people who don't know, IGN gave a perfect 10 to the video game by Mixtape, made by Annapurna Interactive and funded by Megan Ellison, who is the daughter of the 5th richest man in the world. And this is claimed to be an indie game. But you know IGN, their credibility is about as good as my will to live. And before one of you comes out as a contrarian and tells me, you don't like anything, you just don't like the game because it doesn't fit your standards. No, I don't like the game because it doesn't fit anything. It's just annoying and stupid. How can I appreciate something when the dialogue for this game is written like this?
These are the last hours of our high school affair. It's romantic. I want to say something lighthearted, so I say, I bet one of us dies this time.
Yeah, that was the main protagonist. And now you already know this game is bad. And before you say, well, at least the gameplay is good, there is no gameplay. You don't even have to touch the controller to beat anything. And don't even get me started on Stacy Rockford, which is a name that sounds like I slammed my keyboard into my face. She is not only the most annoying protagonist, but her biggest plan doesn't even make remote sense. So, the game follows the fact that it's her last night during the summer before having to leave, which, again, no one's forcing her, this is exactly her choice, to become a music supervisor. And how does she plan on doing it?
So you fly to New York, you give this woman your mixtape, and what, she just hires you?
After she listens to the mixtape, yeah, I'll become the world's foremost music supervisor.
Are you serious?
No. Not only is that the most stupidest idea on how to get a job like that, but it's super unrealistic. Like, there's no way in heck anyone would be hired like that. And that's without considering the fact that half the entire game is just a bunch of flashbacks because the entire story didn't even matter to begin with because it begins and ends at the end of the game. There are so many other games that did better with this. And don't even get me started on the mouth mini game. Oh yeah, I should probably put a disclaimer that you probably shouldn't see this if you're a little kid. Like, I don't understand why this exists, but just a quick disclaimer, if you're a little kid, don't. Then there are the three protagonists who are all really annoying. The only one I could probably sympathize with is Slater because he actually cares about his mom and wants to help her get out of her crippling alcohol addiction, but it never gets explored or touched on within the greater story of the game. Cassandra is the perfect child stereotype who wants to become a delinquent with parents who aren't even strict at all. They're just trying to be respectful and avoid her because the other two are basically losers. Cassandra constantly values music over everything else and gets mad at people when they don't value it the same way, which is why she calls Jenny's Goodspeed a jerk. And it's just annoying. Like, these characters are just stereotypes with minimal depth. And it annoys me because there are other games that have done the same thing, but better. Night in the Woods is a perfect example. For starters, you learn about the world and characters by actually exploring and playing the game. Second of all the mini-games are made to drive the narrative forward and not just be a stupid thing that was thrown in for obligation. And 3, the cast in that game is actually worth looking at. I'm not going to spoil the game, because pretty much everyone else has probably seen it, but I will do a future video on it. Well, I'm Player Negative. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you later.